It's official. Lance Armstrong's athletic career is over. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency has stripped him of all his titles and barred him from competing or coaching professional sports for the rest of his life. But the big question is, will he keep his lucrative endorsement deals? I want to bring in two experts on this. Fox Sports Radio host John JT the Brick Tourneur and editor-in-chief of Bicycling Magazine, Peter Flax. Peter, I want to start with you. Why do you think that he stopped fighting these charges? I think the bicycling world right now is saying, what?
Yeah, it's an incredible moment after watching him for 20 years. I've never seen him give up before, whether he was racing the Tour or fighting cancer or battling all these critics. He's always just been someone who fought at all costs. And so last night to see him give up, it was a stunning moment. I think it's a calculated move. He's a taxable guy, and this was the least worst option he had. This was, better than the alternative.
Well, we should be clear that he did say that he stopped fighting the charges because it was hard on his family and it was causing a lot of stress. But I think at the end of the day, the big question is going to be, I'll go to the Brick on this, what is this going to mean for his endorsement deals? We've already heard from Nike and Anheuser-Busch. They want to keep him, but this is his bread and butter.
Well, it's not good for his endorsement deals, but it won't get wiped out. Lance Armstrong is no longer a cyclist. He's a motivational speaker. He's a cancer survivor. He can walk into any banquet. He won't be introduced as the 7-time winner of the Tour de France, but he is a cancer survivor who runs a tremendous foundation that saves lives. So clearly, his reputation is wiped out as a cyclist, but I want to make this point. He needs to remain healthy. He's a cancer survivor. Financially, he did not want to go down this road anymore, and he needs to wake up every day cancer-free. He cannot have enormous stress on his shoulders every day, meeting with his attorneys and his legal team to clear his name. This is old news. America loves a comeback, and in the next 6 months to a year, it is critical that he keeps his nose clean, lays low, and as this kind of goes away, his big endorsement deals will stay with him.
Well, how much does he actually make from these endorsement deals right now?
Well, he makes tens of millions of dollars for his foundation, and the other numbers go up and down from Anheuser-Busch. Remember, he has equity stakes in some nutritional companies, a nutritional drink, so no one exactly knows how much money he makes, but a lot of the money that he does make from speaking engagements and Livestrong, he puts right back into the foundation. So he is going to travel the world and try to save lives and keep pumping dollars into Livestrong. But it's making money. He already went through a high-profile divorce where he lost a lot of money. His peak earning years are behind him, but he could still raise a lot of money for his foundation.
And I want to turn to Peter now on this because it brings up a bigger question. I mean, Lance Armstrong arguably is the one who drew this kind of attention to the world of cycling. I mean, not everybody, especially in America, watched cycling before Lance Armstrong came around. It makes you wonder how prevalent doping is in this sport.
Well, I think it was a much bigger problem in Lance Armstrong's era than it is today. You can see by the times that athletes are competing in, the speeds that they're racing at, even though the technology is better, they're slower. And fewer people seem to be having performances that seem suspicious, like in Lance's era, where in the time he rode, everybody pretty much was doping. The people that would inherit his yellow jerseys if they're taken away have all been either convicted of doping or made financial settlements in doping investigations. So, he raced at a time where everyone was doing it. It's much cleaner today.
Is Lance Armstrong, his stopping fighting these charges, do you think this is going to change the sport today?
No. I think the sport has already changed. I think, his legacy, which transcends sport, is being, molded right as we speak. I think he still will go down in history as one of the greatest bike racers of all time.
Well, I want to go to Brick now on this one. I mean, when we look at the overall world of cycling and we compare it to other sports out there, do we see the sports world lose interest in cycling if we think that they're all doping like Lance Armstrong? Is that the case right now?
Little to no people in this country care about cycling, and I'll tell you this much. We talked about this being a calculated timing PR move. It was perfect. Last week on my radio show, all I talked about was Milky Cabrera, Bartolo Colon, Major League Baseball players who failed drug tests. The NFL kicks off in a little over a week. This will go away because sports fans in this country don't care about competitive cycling the way they do with the NFL, Major League Baseball. But Lance Armstrong has got to be careful here because he's a high-profile celebrity. He loves to live in the world of celebrity, and as long as he can get out there and walk the red carpet and tell everybody, look everybody in the eye and say, I never failed a drug test, I'm innocent, he's going to continue to do that. He's sticking by his story.
I want to give the last word to Peter here. Peter, will he still go down as the best cyclist of all time?
Yeah, speaking on behalf of the millions of readers who do care a lot about cycling of our magazine, he will go down as the greatest cyclist of his generation. There will always be a cloud hanging over him, but he's the greatest bike racer I ever saw.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on that, guys. The Brick and Peter, thank you. How to spend $100 billion